Gareth finishes 3-0 here at Harrogate. I don't recall the last time we scored 3 goals in successive games in the league, but that aside, your verdict on the performance?
Yeah, fully deserved. Yeah, I really did think that we were well worth the victory today. Both players, fans, my staff, everyone has really worked hard for this today, and I can't thank the boys enough. You know, they were emphatic the way they went forward and finished. You know, in recent weeks we've been guilty of not, spurning a few chances, but that was brilliant. You know, I don't want to pick anyone out today because that is just a team performance throughout. And we came up, long journey yesterday. We knew what was coming, but Harrogate changed, I think, 4 or 5 players for their starting lineup because they've been in a bad run. So they sprung a little bit of a formation change on us. Boys dealt with it, really did, and I've got some characters back in that team now. The injuries have all come back, adding Cameron obviously yesterday and hopefully maybe one more. But where I am really happy with the squad. I think we've got firepower, we've got solidity, but characters is what I've been missing, and there's some real characteristic performances today. Conor Masterson, what a goal, and what a leadership performance at the back. Just gives everyone the boost. Everyone back fit. Johnny Smith obviously limped off, and we'll have a look at that. That's upsetting for him, but he was happy at the end, with the 3-0 victory, as were all the travelling fans. Thank you so much. It's a cold day. The Dartford Tunnel was even messier than it usually is, I've heard, and for them to come up, cheer us off the bus, by the way. And we haven't had a brilliant season lately. The last 10 weeks hasn't been great to cheer about. It's been steady. But they cheer us off the bus, they cheer us onto the pitch, they never stop singing, they never stop getting behind us, and that makes a huge difference, believe me. So never stop supporting this club like you do, because it's your club, and I'm proud to be the manager of your club, and really proud to get a 3-0 away win today.
You said to me a little while ago, Phil, we need to be more ruthless in both boxes. Did you get that today? Yeah. As I say, I didn't want to pick anyone. I've just mentioned Connor, haven't I? But everybody, the back 4 there, the back 5 with Glenn, just really getting so much better at defending our box, and blocks and getting your first head on things, which I think, we've been guilty of not doing. And then at the other end, the chances we created were good chances. Good finishes as well, real good finishes. I'm so glad that it was in front of the Gillingham fans as well, because they were spectacular finishes, and obviously our skipper steps up for the penalty again, and really good win. Going to be a nice journey home now, but we cannot rest on any laurels. We've got Monday going to Cheltenham, and I want to pick up a win there as well. Just finally for me, before I hand over to James, even at 3-0, there's bodies in front of shots. They didn't want to concede. They wanted that 3-0, and they had that clean sheet mentality until that whistle went.
There's a pride in these boys. There's a pride that I believe is coming at the right time. And they were saying, don't concede, don't concede. We scored 1, and we actually said, don't sit back and protect this lead. Let's go and get some more goals. And they certainly did that. Really pleased with them. Like I say, having everyone back is a real bonus. And hopefully there'll be more days like today.
Thank you very much. James, all yours.
You went in at 0-0 at half-time, and then obviously you come out with what can only be described as an exemplary performance and an emphatic 3-0 win.
Thank you.
What are the magic words?
Yeah, the magic words at half-time were, keep doing what you're doing because you deserve to be ahead here. There was a couple of great chances, header just from 6 yards, and I think we had a shot that was blocked that was close. But I just felt today that the more we knocked at the door would open, and it certainly did. And we needed a great strike and a wonderful finish to get us off the mark. But I thought as soon as we got off the mark, Harrogate's head seemed to drop. And we mentioned that in the week as well. It's tough being a team like Harrogate, down the bottom, fighting for your lives. And when teams come in and score against you, your heads can drop. And we thought, right, if their heads drop, let's then suffocate them even more. Let's go for the jugular. And I'm pleased that the boys did that today. But listen, I like Harrogate Town. I don't want these to go down. Simon Weaver's a good guy, and it's a good club. So hopefully they'll survive in the league this season, because it's a tough place to come. But it was brilliant. A year down the line, I said to the boys, I was pleased to get away with a draw last year at this place. This year,
a draw would be a poor result. I want to win today, and the boys delivered for me, so thank you, boys.
Plenty of changes, obviously, for Harrogate. With regards to predicting a team for you to pick, is that as much a blessing as a curse sometimes?
Yeah, like I said in the press earlier in the week, very difficult to predict a team and a team that loses or doesn't win. You know, they've had one draw in 5 games. They're not going to keep doing the same things. They tinker and try and find a solution. And so analysis is really hard. You know, I've got a great analysis guy in Jack Wilson. And me and him sit for hours trying to predict what's going to happen. But it's a lot about us in this league. And when we perform like we did today, the speed of the attacks, but not just that, the quality of passing and play. You know, it's not bad for a team that people have probably written off this season a little bit. Hopefully there'll be a few eyebrows raised and we're still in this race.
And a word for Josh Andrews, obviously assists the first one and draws the foul for the penalty for the second. Doesn't get on the score sheet himself, but how big a part of the team is he?
Massive, not just in stature, but in what he gives us. You know, a platform at the top there, and Sam Vokes comes on and does what he does. What a character to learn off. You know, so Josh is getting better and better. You know, I'm sure eyebrows again would have been raised if some of the chances that he's had in recent weeks, but he assists. He's a thorn in the side. He gives us that platform to play off. Josh is doing really well at the moment, and you know, we just need to keep him fit, keep him positive and confident, and we'll get the best out of him.
Just finally from me on Johnny Smith, obviously it was gutting to see him go off after 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
Have you got any idea at this very early stage?
No idea, you know, but someone like Johnny, he's struggled for games this season. He's not going to come off if just for a little knock. You know, the boy was almost in tears coming off, and I understand that. I've been there. You know, it's been a real tough loan for Johnny Smith, and he's part of the squad. He's part of my boys, and I'll back him the whole way. But unfortunately, it looks like he might have a couple of weeks on the sideline again.
Thanks, Gareth.
Cheers.
It was only this week that Johnny was saying how frustrating this season's been, but he was just buzzing to be back, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's a cracking lad. He really is, you know, and a good player as well. And hopefully we can see that it's not too bad. But let's say coming off in the first half, limping off, and I think he's on crutches just precautionary now. It's not a good sign. So hopefully it will only be a precaution and it will be a minor thing. But yeah, he's a good player, Johnny, and he showed last week exactly what he can do to teams. And hopefully he'll get fit again soon for us.
No Ethan Coleman today. Was that an injury as well?
No, yeah, he got a whack yesterday. We had to train on AstroTurf yesterday because the ground's underwater. Obviously, everyone will see the rain that's been coming down lately in the southeast, and he took a knock on the AstroTurf, which is a minor knock, but it's still a knock big enough to keep him out today. So we got Ewan Williams to catch a train last night and say, get up here. There was nowhere he was driving after that tunnel, as I mentioned. So he got the train up, and I'm glad he did, because he played a part in the end there. And Ewan's been a real patient one, because again, shoulder injury at the start of the season, came back, tight hamstring, and that kept him out for a good few weeks, and then he's just been waiting for his turn. And I actually pulled him the other day. I said, look, I can't change this is going well. I said it might be an injury, it might be, and we had an injury on the day before. You know, it's amazing how football works. But Ewan did well when he came on. More to come from him, but yeah, Ethan is a solid campaigner for me, and as soon as he's back, you know, he'll be part of it again.
That's 6 goals in 2 games, so is it a problem solved as far as that goes with the goal scoring?
Not a chance. We'll keep working. It's a problem to work on, and a problem that we know we can solve. Let's just keep going. There's goals in this team, definitely, but it's tough on some evenings and some afternoons. So yeah, there's no way I'm going to say, you know, one swallow doesn't make a summer, they say. So 2-3 goals definitely doesn't solve our goal scoring thing. We've got to consistently do it for the next 12-15 weeks, whatever's left of the season, and then at the end of the season hopefully we'll be in and around the mix.
And you brought Cameron in as well. What was your thoughts on him? And quite an interesting one, having scored against you just days before.
Yeah. We had our eyes on him, you know, and he's a dynamic midfield forward player. You know, plays the game very much in the Bradley Dack and Ewan Williams role. Can play
up front as well. Plenty to learn. Young boy, and he's had a big step up in his career. With no disrespect to Newport, I always think we're a bigger club in League Two, and he's got to fight his way into this team, and I'm sure he'll be champing at the bit once he gets his chance. But he'll be happy, I think, at home, saying we didn't get clearance for him to come today, but I'm sure he'll be happy watching the result at home.
When you put Newport 2-1 ahead at Priestfield, you're thinking, oh no, because you had your mind, on signing him anyway, didn't you? But he might not have gone down very well. No. It's tough. It's tough. You don't want to give and disclose who you're interested in, and you don't want the press. It probably would have been even tougher if the press would have knew about it, because they say, "Oh, your signing's just scored against you." But it's all come out well. We won that game. He's in the building, and we won today. So yeah, pleasing weekend. And just a word on Nev as well. He's gone out to Cambridge on loan for the rest of the season.
Yeah, cracking lad, real cracking lad. Probably was getting frustrated about the lack of game time, and managers, when they come in, they'll change. They want their own players in, and they've totally understood. He just said, "That's football, Gaffer." And I think Mark Bonner and Neil Harris were big fans of Nev, so they've took him to Cambridge, and hopefully he does well there. I'm not one of these people who goes, "Oh, I hope he does rubbish." I want him to go and score a hat-trick every week. That's my kind of. I want that for everyone. I want everyone in the world to do well, but it's opened up a few spaces now for the likes of Seb and Ewan coming through, and probably Cameron Antwi as well. So and like I say, there may be one more coming in. We'll see what happens in the week.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not done yet. You're still going to be busy for that last week.
We're trying. But again, we have real big meetings now. Myself and the owners, they're over for the next couple of weeks, and we're talking a lot about not overspending, not getting people in just because everyone else is, but doing it the right way, the right time, at the right price, and hopefully we'll get the right results.
And game on Tuesday night at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
I get you playing them. They're a bit of a different team now, aren't they, from the one you played for before?
Yeah.
You're expecting something tougher?
Yeah, definitely. Steve Cottrell's definitely a good manager. He's probably got more games than me under his belt, and I'm one of the most in the division. So he's a real experienced campaigner. Knows how to get results. Knows how to dig in. And I think we saw that when Cheltenham came to Priestfield. I watched that one on TV, obviously back home, but I'll be hoping that we can turn that result around and get 3 wins on the spin. That'll be phenomenal for us, and what we're trying to achieve this season. But tough to go. We'll find out how the boys are tomorrow. Long journey home now, but like I say, it's always a nice one when you've won.
Back to back must feel nice as well.
Back to back's really nice in any league, but especially at a club I've become so attached to, and the fans were just magnificent. 430, I was told, and it sounded like 4,300. Never mind 430. It was a real joy to play in front of them, and I can see them kicking every ball, hitting every ball, and I'm so glad they saw 3 quality goals at the Gillingham end, and they go home happy too.